Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a topic that can completely change the way you work and reach your goals. Creating priorities in your life to get things done. So whether it's a book you want to finish, an artwork that's just been sitting on your desk, or a goal in your personal life, let's dive into these 5 important tips that will change your life. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. It really helps out the channel. Thanks so much for being here today, and let's get started. Tip number 1 is to take the first step. Sounds simple, but the first step to creating priorities that will help you accomplish more in any task is to know that you can accomplish this task. That little voice in your head has more power than you realize when it comes to motivation. Even if I don't think I can do something, I remind myself that it is possible. It may not look that way now, but taking just one small step can lay the foundation for the next step. Oftentimes, I will lay out my supplies, whether that's my iPad and my notes to get ready to write a script for my next YouTube video, or my painting supplies, canvas, brushes for my next creation. That way, I already have one step completed. As you guys are watching right now, I have a time-lapse video of me as I'm drawing my cousin Macy her tattoo. So she had asked me to make this tattoo way back in July. So it's been several months, and I've gathered my images to have for reference. I've laid it out on my drawing pad, and I haven't done it. And I've had a lot of things that have been happening for my book, but I've just sat it to the side. So finally, I am drawing it, and you are watching me draw this Luna Moth. She wanted a Luna Moth in her tattoo. She asked for peonies, and she also asked for a feather. So this tattoo she's planning on having it on her arm, her forearm, and so I made this for my niece. All that to say, I have put it off for a long time, and I've actually set it out. I'm finally getting around to doing it. So wanted to show you that it does take a while sometimes to take that first step. And there's no harm in saying that it took you a while as long as you're getting started. So I'm going to tell you tip number 2. Tip number 2 is defining your priorities helps you set goals. Sometimes we have just nebulous priorities, like write a memoir, and that's a pretty large goal, but having a large goal like that can feel overwhelming, and it really can just leave you feeling defeated. If you've made a priority to write a book, you have to set smaller goals that break it down even more. I was talking with someone today who said that she wants to make a book of all of the wonderful sayings that her grandma said. And I think it's such a sweet children's book. It's a memoir to her grandmother, but it's also a legacy that she's putting into place. And so I encouraged her. I said, and she's a very, very busy person. She's on television. But I told her, I said, if you make it a goal to write just one of her sayings down each week. And that might get the ball rolling to help you to get that book published, to get that book finished. I also have another friend who had a goal of writing 1 page a day. And I know that might sound like a lot, might sound like a little, but he eventually wrote a 600-page book, and I helped to encourage him to publish it, and I'm so thankful he's got it out into the world. But if you had a friend come to you and say that they were going to write a book in a month, you'd probably think, or a whole book, you'd probably think that was unrealistic. You know that your friend would be better able to accomplish smaller goals, like writing an outline this week, or having a finished chapter to share with a friend at the end of the month. So when you break it down into the small, realistic goals, that will help you to get whatever big goal you have finished. Tip number 3 is to phone a friend. Do you have a friend who will be both encouraging while at the same time helping to keep you accountable? You can ask that friend to check in on you with your goal. When I was finishing the illustrations for my first book, Butterflies for Rory, my dear friend Laura, she would kindly but firmly ask me, "How's it going?" She didn't ask that every day. She didn't ask that just once in a year, but she would probably ask me about once a month. Just kindly ask me, so how's it going? And that was encouragement because I knew that not only was she going to ask me, but she was consistent and she was encouraging. And that helped me to say, you know what, I want to have something wonderful to tell her. Hey, this is what I've gotten done. I've gotten done 2 paintings, or I've started the graphic design on my book, or whatever it was. I was encouraged to be able to show her rather than feel like it was hanging over my head. It gave me the encouragement that I needed to kind of pace myself and to get finished. And right now, my friend Laura, she's creating a watercolored calendar for 2025. She's just amazing. She overcame cancer and she's had so many health issues, but she's persevered in creating this calendar, and I can't wait. I will share it with you guys when it's in print and I have it on my wall. I'm looking forward to it, and I know it'll only be a couple months away before I will see this idea that she had over a year ago to make a calendar and bring her wonderful watercolor illustrations out into the world. And it will be a reality soon. And she's been plugging away, and I'm so powerful. She knows, my friend Laura, the power of phoning a friend because she often posts her updates on social media. She gets real-time feedback from friends and followers. So it's October and she's done with her December painting. So she's updated us all throughout the process from January to December, all of the different paintings that she's made. And she's even asked for feedback. So for December, the animal characters are painting a tree. They're decorating a tree. And so she asked, hey, what other characters would you want to add? And people have responded, and that's encouraged her. And that's helped to motivate her to keep going because we're all watching, because we're all encouraging. And I couldn't be more proud of her. So follow Laura's example and make sure you have someone rooting for you and your accomplishments. It'll really make a difference in making progress for your goal that you have. All right, tip number 4, create habit buddies. So what's a habit buddy? Do you want to exercise regularly? You can pair exercise with another fun activity, like watching an episode on Netflix while you walk on the treadmill, and I do that all the time. Or for me, one other thing that I do, especially on the treadmill, is I'll look through my pictures. It's a really good time to just clear out some of my old pictures and get my pictures organized. And I will look up and 25-30 minutes have gone by and I really haven't paid attention. I'm sweating, but I'm almost done with a complete exercise, and so that feels really good. Do you need to get some artwork finished? You can listen to your favorite YouTuber while you work on your next painting. If you can pair up an unpleasant or difficult task with a happy one, you can create a dynamic pair that will help you move forward. So remember, what can you create a habit buddy? Something that you're already doing that you can easily pair something that you need to do and maybe don't want to do. Pair them together and they will become a very positive combination. So tip number 5 is it meaningful? I am the pro at procrastination. My mind can see hundreds of tasks that need to be done in a day. But are these tasks, are they really pushing me forwards toward my goal? Usually, if I take a moment and I make the most important thing, then my other smaller tasks will just fall into place. I've seen people do an illustration of this where if they take a bunch of sand and they fill a bucket and then they try to put some big rocks inside, it's very, very hard to make them fit. But if you take your bucket and you take your big rocks and you put them in first, and then you fill up the sand around them, they will all fit into the bucket. So that's kind of a visual to make our priority to what is meaningful. What are the tasks that will move us forward instead of focusing on the sand, on focusing all the little things. Now, it doesn't mean that you forget to do your laundry or your groceries. We still have to do mealtime and things like that. But a lot of times those things will fall into place if we make a priority of sitting down, writing a chapter of our book. Our tummy's rumbling will let us know that we definitely need to get some food. And we'll have at least one chapter. And if we need to eat peanut butter and jelly for dinner, that's okay. Perhaps that's just something that you do that day and you've got a chapter finished. So you need to stay focused on what truly matters for you, for your goals. Once you see that your bigger goals start to get done, little by little you'll be motivated to keep going. I'll often work out to a YouTube exercise video, and I love the ones that include a pacer that lets me know where I'm at in my workout. I don't like to pay attention to it at first, but once I get to at least 50%, I know that I'm not going to quit since I'm already over halfway done. Once I get to 75%, I know that I can push even harder because I'll soon be able to rest. If we apply that to our tasks, we can rest easy knowing that once we take the first steps, then define our priorities, we definitely will have friends who are encouragers, who can create habits that help it move us forward. The work that we do will be the truly meaningful tasks that once done will get us closer to the person we want to be. Our bigger goals will soon turn into our accomplishments that we can be proud of. Accomplishments that define our careers, our relationships, and help to keep us on the path to achieve our greater purpose in life. Now, I know you won't feel like giving 100% in every moment of every day, but using these tips can help you on the road to being more productive, more joyful in the moment, and knowing that what you do has meaning. So don't wait. Try these tips today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend, hit that subscribe button for more tips on productivity and creative living. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'm hopeful that I can show you also the process of probably painting this Luna Moth in watercolors. So I'll look forward to bringing that to you a little later, and thanks so much.